Let's be honest, the online space, the coaching space, it is loud. You are being told so much conflicting advice. Post more, launch faster. If someone doesn't buy straight away, they're not an ideal client. Be consistent, go viral. No one is telling you what actually sustains a business long term and what keeps it feeling light. No, I still didn't say easy. I feel like I have to correct myself every time I say that. I didn't say easy, but what keeps it feeling light and easeful and what allows it to grow with you instead of burning you out when you try to scale it. So today we are going to cut through the noise. I am going to share with you 5 hacks to a successful, scalable, and sustainable business. And these are not nice to haves. These are from my own personal experience. These are from what I have witnessed from people who are successful in the industry over a prolonged period of time. And I think that's really important to really point out as well is that this learning, it hasn't come from people who woke up one day and had this instant six-figure business and then couldn't hold it. It's from people who have been building for that longer period of time. And that is my end goal. My end goal, I am in it for the long run. I have had these conversations so many times at home. Every decision that I make, everything that I'm doing, the first 2 years where there was like no money, well, there's money coming in, but it wasn't profitable, all of that was because the decisions that I was making were not for the right now, they were for the long game, the bigger picture, where I am headed and what I am doing. So I deeply believe that every soul-led entrepreneur needs to know about these hacks if they're going to build a business that doesn't just make money, but actually makes sense for your life and stays sustainable. So by the end of this episode, you will walk away with 5 key focus areas, plus a core belief that you can borrow from me that will change how you lead your business from here. Now, welcome back to Resourced. If we have not met, my name is Jessica Reed. I am an intuitive business mentor, guide, and coach for women building businesses that reflect their truth, their timing, and their next evolution. I blend strategy with energetics, and I believe that your business will not grow beyond your identity. And I know firsthand how important it is to build a business that matches the woman that you are becoming. So, in today's episode, I'm sharing the 5 most important elements of a business that actually lasts. Why skipping these will cost you more than you realize, and a core belief to anchor into even before you feel ready. So, let's dive in. The first hack, can we call them hacks? I don't know, I actually don't actually like the word hack. I don't really know what another word is. The first core piece that you need to be considering for a sustainable business that grows with you and lasts is the systems that you are building. Systems that don't just hold your clients, but also hold you, because you didn't leave your 9 to 5 to become your own assistant, your own tech support, your own everything. If you are manually chasing payments, if you are continually rewriting onboarding emails or triple checking your own Zoom links or handing out a manual invitation to every person who books with you, that is not freedom. It's fragmentation. And I really want you to hear this. Borrow this belief. Okay, borrow my belief. I am building systems for the business that I am stepping into, not just the one that I have now. We don't choose our online portal based on where our business is now. We don't choose our tech based on where our business is now. We don't choose the onboarding systems based on where our business is now. We don't choose the processes based on where our business is now. We are choosing these, or at least I am choosing these and building these from a place of where I am going, where my business goals are, what that looks like. What if there was 50 people coming into this program right now? How would the onboarding be different to what it is now? Okay, well, let's build it more like that. How would this process, how would this system? Every offer that you create, every launch that you run, every person that you serve, it all deserves a structure that supports your energy. Systems are not cold. They are not making things less personable. Systems hold your capacity so that you can hold your clients better. So I want you to look at where in your business do you need better systems? Where can we automate? Where can we delegate? Where can we have SOPs in place to make things that are repeatable easy? Where can you really up level your systems so that you don't have to be so you don't have to be in all the time, doing all the fiddly things that are just taking up your time, energy, and capacity. So the second thing, again, I just can't call them hacks. I don't know why. It's not really a hack. These things are pretty common knowledge, but for some reason, most people skip over them. And so I was like, okay, there are 5 things that I really, really see that really need to come in and be taken into consideration. So no, they're not hacks as such, but they are certainly 5 important areas to be on top of for your successful, sustainable business. So number 2 is the personal healing journey that you don't skip over. I said at the beginning, your business will not outgrow your identity. I've said it before, I will say it again. You will continually hear me say that. And that's not just because I work in the subconscious mind and in the body and I work in that mindset space. That is not just because of that. I knew this long, long before that. You can download every template, you can study every strategy. But if your inner world does not feel safe with being seen, with being paid, with receiving, with being powerful, then your business will reflect that, not your plan. It will reflect your inner world. So I want you to borrow this belief. It is not about trying harder or doing more. It is about becoming safer inside myself. In my work, we talk a lot about the energetics of success. That is my signature framework. We have the clear code, the alignment code, and the leverage code. And they're always in circulation. They're always moving. It's not a linear framework. That's because the reality is that 80% of your results are going to come from who you're being. Because who you're being is going to inform what you do with that strategy, how you're seen, the actions that you take, the people that you speak to. If you have an amazing strategy, but you can't execute your sales calls because your inner world is so fearful of rejection that it makes you feel like you want to vomit and you go into a freeze state, then the strategy isn't going to work. It only works when it is coming from a clean internal field. No one talks about this enough. I know I mentioned on last week's episode an ad that I saw that was like 5 minutes, one canvas slide, $40,000, steal my one slide pitch to make $40,000 like instantly. And I was like, okay, but the people who believe that quick fix is going to work probably are looking, they're pulling, and as I said, I'm sure this is sold with integrity. I'm not saying anything bad about the person selling it or anything, but we've all got our marketing messages, but I just was looking at that and I was thinking, yeah, but there's a reason why they haven't held that money yet. And there is a reason why, like if someone with a belief that literally a 5 minute one slide fix is going to solve all of their problems, and they've got more internal work to do than they realize. So it's not spoken about enough. And honestly, even I think when it is spoken about, I think the eyes kind of glaze over a little bit. Because this is what I was talking about last week. Like we are embodied entrepreneurs. We are here to not only just run a business, but we are here to grow ourselves. Nothing will show you your shadows faster and your wounds faster than becoming an entrepreneur, putting yourself out there, putting your vision out there, taking steps that other people don't understand, risking things that some people cling to so tightly, like possessions and money. And it's hard. Nothing will show you those things faster than becoming an entrepreneur. And we cannot skip over the identity work that is involved in this journey. And you can absolutely try to skip over it. And you can try to ignore the emotions. And you can try to feel like you're not, going to feel and deal with the things and process the things that you need to deal, feel, and process. You can absolutely try that if you want to, but I can promise you that it's going to catch up. I can promise you that it is going to show in self sabotage, in repeated glass ceilings. It is going to show in the same results, just wrapped in a different wrapper over and over again. So, I guess this whole second point is that being intentional about your growth, being aware that it is a hand in hand part of what you are doing. I work with a psychologist, I work with mentors, I am doing my own personal healing all the time as needed. All the time as needed. Because even a part of like what I believe, what I truly deeply believe in terms of me being in integrity and congruence with what I am doing, I am showing up and I'm asking my people to go deep. I'm asking them to look deeply, to own what they are going through, to stand in things that feel scary or shameful. I need to do the same thing. And that doesn't mean I need to do it every minute, but I need to be willing to do it when the opportunity arises, when there is something there, when I'm meeting a challenge, when I'm meeting my next edge, when I'm trying to, like in the video games, you got to, what do you call it, defeat the monster or defeat the bad guy or whatever before you can clear the next level. Whenever I have the things come up, I'm meeting them. I'm not shying away from them. And I think we really need to really be intentional and prepared to continue to grow ourselves in order to grow our business. Now, the third piece here is having a clear vision for where this is all going. Now, I meet a lot of women who are working really hard, okay, but they haven't actually stopped to ask themselves, where is it all taking them? And I don't just mean with their business goals, I mean with their life, what experiences they want to have. Why are they doing this? Where in their life is this business vehicle driving them to? So they get so stuck in this wheel of working that they recreate burnout. They keep working on wrong offers. They follow someone else's vision instead of actually getting radically honest about their own. This is why I have the vision activation method, because we don't just set business goals. We set the goals based on where am I going in my bigger picture vision? And then what core focus do I need to have now to take a step towards that? And then what are the goals that I'm actually going to work on? And then circle back. Are these actually deeply aligned with what I say that I want and the experiences that I want to have and what I want to be doing and feeling in my life? I want you to borrow this belief. I am not just building a business, I am designing a life. Your vision is your filter. It will help you say no. It will help give you clarity. It helps to keep you in integrity, even when things aren't working on paper. Okay. You don't just want to create a scalable model for the sake of a scalable model. You want to create a scalable model that can actually give you room and hold the life that you want to be living. We create meaningful models. So it's really important that we keep our vision clear and we remind ourselves, and it might change, let it pivot, let it grow, but you are continually reminding yourself of what that vision is. That is so important, because for me, as I said, every 3 months, when I do my vision activation method, when I lead my masterminders through the vision activation method, we are reminding ourselves of what I say is important in the experiences that I want to have in my life. And then the business is the vehicle that takes you there. Now, the fourth non-negotiable for me is mentorship and proximity that matches my expansion. All right. So we've talked about this a couple of episodes ago, being in a room that reflects where you are going. Borrow the belief that you don't just really need more information, What you really need is to be witnessed by people who already see your next level. And if you are struggling to hold the belief for yourself, find someone to hold it for you. This is the power of mentorship. This is the power of a mastermind culture, of being surrounded by people who speak your language and hold your evolution as if it is inevitable. I don't believe that we are meant to build businesses, even as solopreneurs, in isolation. I truly don't believe that. And I can tell you again from the value of growth that I have, that I spoke about already in terms of congruence and integrity for me, but also just from understanding and being, in a really high level, powerful mastermind the last 4 years, in being with some really phenomenal world class mentors, understanding the value that they have brought to my business and going in with this with the mindset of, like going into it with the mindset of, do I believe that if I invest in myself and my growth, then it will come back to me? Do I believe that? I absolutely do. I trust myself. I trust the yeses that I get internally. I trust the direction that I'm being pulled in for whatever reason I'm being pulled in that direction. So, yes, I also trust that where I put my money, it will come back to me. It will multiply. I completely believe that. I do not, however, believe that it is a tit for tat. I invested $20,000 in this. I need to make my $20,000 back. Over the last 4 years, I can tell you that the money will come back to you in different ways. I can tell you that sometimes you will have a year of or months of team building, system building, foundation building, and then you have an income spike. And then all of a sudden you've made that money back. But hey, you were in the container learning that thing 12 months before that. It's never directly, oh, here I'm going to invest $10,000. I need to see that $10,000 back. Be open to a timeline, be open to how it comes back. Because as I said, if you are learning, if you are growing, if you are applying yourself, if you are doing these things, I believe it's inevitable that it does all come back and that it comes back in multiplications. I deeply, deeply believe that. But it's not like, oh, $20,000 this year and this did that container make me $20,000. It is not, to me, like that. That is not how I think about mentorship. And that is not how I think about investing in myself. That is my own personal choice, my own personal beliefs. Ultimately, it is all going to come down to what I do, the timeline that I am on, the aligned choices that I am making, how I choose to meet my challenges and my mistakes, how quickly I learn the lessons. There are so many things at play. And that is why I will always stay in some sort of mentorship, because I want to be stretched. I want to be seen. That's why I have my mastermind, because I want to gift you that experience as well. Now, our final piece is another non negotiable for me, and it's another belief that you can borrow if you choose until you have it for yourself. And that is around getting help and building your team and building your support. One, yes, before you feel ready. But again, just like with the systems, building it from the where am I going? Okay. So maybe that doesn't mean employing absolutely every person that you need right here, right now, if that cash flow is not there, but looking at structuring everything and looking at the bigger picture, looking at who is going to be the most valuable in your team, again, with the same vision of where you're going. If I brought in 50 women right now, if my next launch had the goal that I say that I want, how often do we say, oh, I want 20 people, 30 people, I want 20 private clients, I want 50 people in my launch, but then actually you don't have the systems in place, you don't have the money belief to hold it, and you don't have the community manager or the team or the assistant to be replying to all the people who want to know where their login details are. If you don't have these things in place, sometimes it's actually like, right, well, if the universe doesn't believe that you can hold it, Are you really going to get it? Or maybe you'll get a taste of it and then it goes again. So I want you to borrow the belief that you hire for the business that you are creating, not just the one that you are managing today. Let's get rid of the belief of when I am more successful, then I'll get help. Because I've seen time and time again, the support comes first and then the growth. So whether it's virtual assistants, personal assistants, executive assistants, team community members, content assistants, team members, whatever your structure is, OBM, like whatever your structure is going to be, don't wait until you are drowning to ask for that life vest, because it is so much harder then. It really is. Your next level will require more support than your last. That's fact. That's part of growth. So let yourself have it. Okay, so those are my 5 non-negotiables, my 5 absolutely non-negotiables for building a successful and scalable and sustainable business. So if you're listening to this and you are thinking, this is me, I've built something good, but I want to build something that truly holds me, then I would love to invite you to a private 30-minute diagnostic style mirror call. Now, these are free, completely free, only for podcast listeners and only throughout the months of September and October. So you are listening to this in October, you don't have long. Inside, we are going to identify the true bottleneck in your business, whether it be energetic or strategic. We are going to clarify what is actually slowing your momentum and map out a clear next step that aligns with where you're going and the woman you are becoming. Okay, so you can claim this in the show notes. You must take it by the end of October. As I said, 30 minutes completely free. I am not offering this publicly. This is only for podcast listeners. So jump in, claim this for yourself, and remember, as you move forward, that you don't need to be everywhere and you don't need to do everything, but you do need to build something that is actually built for you. The systems, the healing, the vision, the support, the team, they're not luxuries. They are the foundations of a business that lasts, and you are allowed to want that. And you do not have to build it alone. So let's do it together. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week on another episode of Resourced. Thank you for tuning in to Resource with Jessica Reed. If today's episode spoke to you, I'd love for you to share it with another soul-led entrepreneur who is also ready to rise. Make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected, because when you are deeply resourced, you become unstoppable. Until next time, my friend, stay resourced, stay radiant, and trust in the magic that is you.